Hello Reformers and welcome back to Warsword Conquest, and Percy has received his, well, I guess dividends? It's not really a very large amount of money, which is absolutely fine. I mean, let's face it, it's much better than losing every single week. But you can see here that Percy's party is just absolutely crazy. Look at that, 2,700 in wages alone. But thankfully, our dye works at Lothern is now up and running, and the mercenary payment from the High Elven Kingdom has increased exponentially, which is really good. Very, very good indeed. It's probably better than even being a vassal. Although, if you look after your village, then it's not really going to be, that bad. Anyway, we are still here at Tor Anlek from the end of the previous episode, because I thought to myself, you know what this series is missing? You know what it's missing? Some combat skills. Oh yeah, some combat skills. Well, namely, dodge. We're going to be paying the 2,000 and gaining dodge. And yeah, oh, wait a minute, I forgot to ask him something. I forgot to ask him where a nearby tournament is going to be held. And as far as I'm aware, Karak Kadrin and Karaz a Karak. Okay, that is Dwarven territory as far as I'm aware. Very far away. Isn't it? No? No, apparently it's not Dwarven. There we go. Yes, it is one of them. Yes, both of them are Dwarven territory. Okay, both of them are Dwarven territory. That's probably not going to happen anytime soon, but oh well, never mind. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to make my way all the way over to our little ship and, try and get on it and maybe do a little bit of scouting, actually. What we need to do first... Oh, yes, we're actually at war against the Dark Elves as well, aren't we? Yes, that makes the most sense. So what we're going to do is... I am going to just take a quick look at... Yes, we're against the Beastmen and the Dark Elves. So that means... You know what that means. We are going to be making an expedition to Dark Elf territory. But before we arrive on the shores of Dark Elf territory, we have arrived in a different battle, and that is against the Skaven. And maybe we'll get a chance to see our wonderful dodge skill at work if Percy can stop being so incredibly heavy and, actually jump over the fence properly. Well, is that a fence? Nah, it's more like a railing guard barrier thing. Well, never mind. I just have way too many units, by the way, so it's probably not going to happen where I will get any kills or even the opportunity to, maybe even test out my dodge. Oh, there's a... Oh. I was like, there's a kill? No, it was actually not a kill for me. It was a kill for Groth, who is a wonderful, wonderful person, and certainly someone we don't want to sell his beard. No, we don't want to sell his beard, that's for sure. Although, if he crosses us again, you never know what might happen. Of course, I'm just joking. Anyway, Abdul actually leveled up as well, which is pretty good. Otherwise, let's just continue leveling up. Ooh, Witch Hunter, very nice. We might need some of those. Lothern Sea Guard, let's get a couple more of those instead of the Hawkeyes. And we got a Mounted Huntress now. They're looking very cool, along with the Amazon Huntress, both on dinosaurs. And let's have a look at Abdul. Yeah, in the previous episode we found out that Abdul is actually a spotter and trader, which makes me very disappointed indeed, because I was very, very dead set on creating Liss, who is a lizardman companion, into a spotter, tracker, and engineer. And finding out that Abdul actually has such insane spotting and trade skill, it kind of makes me a bit sad, because he's basically designed specifically to be a spotter and trader, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. So what we are going to do is we're going to continue leveling up his strength. We're going to give him another point in power draw, and we'll give him a couple of points in one-handed, I suppose, because if he is going to be using a one-handed in combat, then it would make sense for him to have a little bit of proficiency in it, of course, and if he, doesn't, then he's probably not going to be that effective. Anyway, let's continue leveling up Groth as a... what do we want to do, really? He has a point in power draw? He has a point in power draw? Okay, so apparently he can be an archer of some kind. I know dwarves do use bows sometimes, but I don't really want him to use a bow specifically. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to level up his strength and constitution, because as I've said, I basically want to make it so that I think I am going to level up his firearms, because maybe he'll use a dwarven blunderbuss or a dwarven shotgun type thing in the future, because I know that there are some specifically designed for dwarven close combat, and that seems like a good idea to me. Anyway, point is, at the moment, basically what I'm trying to do with our companions is I'm trying to make them as efficient as possible. And I'm not talking about, you know, keeping them alive or anything. I'm talking about when they do eventually die, which is what they will do most of the time, I would like to make it so that they are a little bit less vulnerable to long periods of unconsciousness, basically. So in other words, getting a huge amount of constitution skill and being able to get back on your feet relatively quickly. Anyway, as you can see here, we have a contract renewal on our hands, if I can actually speak without just absolutely choking. That's great. Anyway, we're going to be renewing our contract, and we're going to see... Oh, look at that. The Chaos Dwarf colonies have declared war against the Sultanate of Araby and the Lizard Man Empire, and we have also made a trade agreement, from what I can tell, with the Nippon colonies, which is actually pretty cool. Okay, so there is actually a village over here. Where am I right now? Ah, I'm over here. Okay, so that's fantastic. Or is it? Hello, person. You have a large amount of units. This is not very good. I'm a bit dubious about this, to be honest. Because maybe I should just be a bit sneaky. Alright, so I'm going to try and be sneaky here. So in other words, we're going to try and just kind of, you know, swing around towards Wrath, which is a very foreboding name for a village. We're going to try and raid it. Alright, so we might actually be in time to raid... Yeah, there we go. We actually did it. I am so surprised right now. And I know I say that a lot whenever I get a successful pillaging done, but it's true. You know, it's one of these... Like, Warsword Conquest is probably one of the most punishing mods when you try to raid a village. Because if any of the nearby vassals, if you're not high enough in terms of your level or in terms of how strong your army is or anything, you're going to get murdered. You're going to get absolutely murdered, and it's really, really harsh. But yeah, obviously that's the case with basically anything, even native, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, let's have a look. Oh, exquisite butter, look at that. 3,480 just for that. Wow, we've got to make sure that we don't eat that, right? We have to make sure that we don't eat that. Oh no, that is going to be really difficult to do with a pretty decently sized army. It's not insanely big, obviously, but it is certainly much larger than normal, so... Ooh, might be a bit of an issue, but I guess we'll just try our best. I'm going to get back to my ship immediately. I don't have any more space, so there's no point in me staying around to do another one. Ah... Hello there. Ooh, this might actually be one of those times when I want to attack. But on the other hand, I don't know whether I really want to. This is kind of difficult because we do outnumber him pretty considerably. He does have a sorceress initiate, and I'm pretty sure now that the magic in the game has been implemented, it is going to be a pretty harsh battle. Shall we try it out? I think we should try it out. Let's do it. Alright. So he's actually kind of injured. Do bear that in mind. He is actually injured, so we might have a pretty decent time of things here, but who knows. 94 against 65. Okay, well, we're actually on a pretty decent heal here as well. Maybe we can try and get into some good positions here. Okay, so I'm just going to tell my infantry and everything to stand over here, archers there, and cavalry, where do they want to go? All the way over there, I guess. Oh no, I'm being shot all the way from this distance. Are you serious? Wow, the Dark Elves really are very skilled. I'm actually wondering, does my dodge skill, my newly acquired dodge skill, does that actually work against ranged attacks? I think it should. I think I remember that arrows and bolts can be dodged, but We've got poison here. But bullets cannot be dodged, as far as I'm aware. Is that true? I think that might be another mod, but I think it might share the same mechanics for the most part. Oh no! They cast Doom Bolts? Okay. We're going to have to get our archers into a much better position here. I'm going to have to be very, very careful as well. We do not want to take a Doom Bolt to the face. That is going to be one of the worst things that we can have happen. And can you move, infantry? What are the infantry doing? They're not moving. I have no idea what they're doing. Go. Oh no, this is bad. This is very bad indeed. This is super bad indeed. Okay. Well, I'm gonna use my mount to do things. And oh my, this is bad. They have a lot of Dread Knights. They have a huge amount of Dread Knights. Okay, let's just tell the infantry to charge in. Tell the cavalry to charge in. This might be bad. This might be really bad. As long as I can stay alive, though, I feel like we should have a pretty easy time of things. He dodged. Of course he did. Let's face it. These guys are way too good for me to just run up to them and just randomly do things. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to use my regrowth spell. It failed. I did not need you to fail right now, regrowth. That was really very, very bad. Okay, come on now. Let's use this. Healed everyone. Fantastic. Okay, great. Okay, so regrowth is actually going to be ready in 15 seconds. 14 seconds. Do not kill... Okay, apparently they wanted to kill me. You know what I should have done? I should have taken a healing potion. I should have taken that healing potion. That would have made a huge difference. All of our archers are taking a pretty big brunt right now, and you can see here that our infantry are absolutely cleaning up. It seems like our infantry is even better than our archers, which is pretty crazy if you think about it, you know. Elves being better with their infantry? Well, that's amazing. But I suppose, in general, the initial charge of the enemy was against our archers instead of the infantry. I guess, kind of. I really wish I was still alive so that I could actually use regrowth now, because a lot of people are being knocked unconscious, and I would be easily able to get them all back on their feet with one cast of regrowth. And if I had successfully cast it, it would have been an amazing turn to the tide of battle, basically. It would have made things so much easier, but, well... That's how it is. That's how it is. Oh well, never mind. We did achieve victory though, which is pretty fantastic. That means that I might be able to get to, you know, take this guy prisoner. And speaking of prisoners, actually, a little bit weird. The fellow that we actually still have in our prisoner's hold has not been ransomed. Not entirely sure why. Maybe I should speak to him? Maybe I should speak to him. That might actually make sense, because I seem to remember that maybe you do need to speak to some lords to maybe get them to, you know, prompt you to, you know, get some money. That's basically what it is. Anyway, 19 renown for that battle. That is actually one of the largest renown rewards that I've ever gotten. And bear in mind that if I was able to use regrowth, 40 would not have been wounded. It would have been about, I don't know, maybe 10? Instead. So regrowth is a super powerful ability, and if only it worked more often. That's basically it. Oh well, he managed to escape, so that is kind of a shame. But you know, on the other hand, it is actually kind of good that we lost so many units, because now it means that I will be able to take this, which is a high elf noble, and it rides a lion. Yeah, it rides a lion. Can you imagine? That is just crazy. Okay, we also have Dragon Princess of Calador right here. We have basically upgraded. We have upgraded so completely from what we had before that is just amazing. Okay, we're going to also take these Huntresses as well as the Amazon Mistresses. Yeah, they are really, really good in my opinion. I mean, this one did get taken out by the Dreadlord at the very end of this battle, but just bear in mind that those Dreadlords, they are very good. They're very good at what they do. I don't know whether I should really take these guys. Yeah, why not? Why not? I don't really want to, but I think maybe it would make sense. Ooh, that's actually a nice... you know what? Is that a nice weapon? On the one hand, I would say yes, because it's only a swinging weapon, and, you know, if you give this to a companion, they're probably going to be much, much better at using it than they would use a thrusting and swinging weapon. But I think for the moment, we're just going to leave it as it is. Wow, alright, wow, that is just crazy. Okay, so basically, I was going to cut away there, And I was going to just, you know, travel back to the town, but I thought to myself, this might be interesting. This might be interesting to some of you. Anyway, basically, if I had not had my ship here, or if I had not had my ship really close by, I would have had Witch King Malekith on my hands. And you know how powerful he is? Well, he's very powerful. He has a huge amount of Dark Elf crossbows, Dread Masters, Dark Elf Dark Shards, Dread Shards. I don't even know half of these units. That is just crazy. You know what I'm going to do? I'm literally going to look at the Dark Elves right now. Just a small look here. Dread Shards are the highest tier of crossbow that they can use, and they're using repeater crossbows. Whoa, okay, that is... You definitely don't want to mess with these guys. You certainly don't want to mess with these guys. They also have triple shot hand crossbows from the Nagaroth Assassins. You have the Black Guards as well as the Dread Knights, and as you can see, the Dread Knights are just amazing. Anyway, let's move back to High Elf territory and sell. It's actually not even that far away. Alright, so thankfully, luckily, our exquisite butter has not been eaten at all, and that means that we get almost 4,000 gold for it. We're also going to be selling our silk, well-made butter, fine honey. I know all of this is really, really good for morale and everything, but personally, I feel like it is much, much more useful just being sold off. And I mean, look at this. We've already made 10,000, which is amazing. Okay, so well-made cheese, well-made sausages can go... Sturdy leatherwork, well-made sausages, fine bread. Anything fine, as I've said, is certainly up for selling. And there we go. Okay, I think that's pretty good. That is basically it. I'll sell the rotten pork as well. Can't believe I even have that in my inventory, but there you go. Alright, that's exactly the reason why I don't like taking meat in the game, because I always forget about it, and it always goes rotten. There's 12,500 for us, and I think... Is there another... Oh, the only other town is this one, and I think this one is not liking us that much, which is a bit of an issue. Well, this is also a bit of an issue, isn't it? Okay, so we do have a renown value of 19 here, which is pretty amazing, and I actually wonder, can I just use this? No, your attempt to cast regrowth fails. I was actually hoping that I might be able to restore our other unconscious units. Because let's face it, we do have a couple of those. So it might make sense for us to maybe stall a little bit. I'm going to drink a healing potion. And it seems like they are not consumed, because it seems like they were, you know, they're still in my inventory. So I think maybe it just depends on how many times you use it in a particular battle. Is that correct? Because that means that you can only use 2 if you have 2, and if you have 1, then you can only use it once. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense quite a bit, and it's really nice that you don't have to buy it over and over, because I think buying it over and over would be a little bit fiddly, but I suppose it is a pretty powerful thing to have in reserve, you know, just in case you take super amounts of damage. Anyway, we're just going to tell our forces just to charge straight on in here. Bear in mind that these guys... Oh, my attempt to cast it fails once again, but oh well, never mind. Anyway, do bear in mind that these fellows, these guys that we're up against right here, they are just basically a slightly advanced form of bandit. So generally, they're not really going to be the most powerful units ever, so I think we should have a pretty easy time of things here. And I think that's actually the case. They really did not know what they were getting themselves in for. But bear in mind that our renown value, our renown reward for this... Whoa, this guy absolutely murdered that first mate. Whoa. Okay, remind me never to get on the wrong side of the High Elf White Lions, because those guys are beasts. And the Phoenix Guards with their huge halberds as well. You could see that halberd right there. That is just menacing. Very, very menacing indeed. Okay, so you know what we're going to do? We're just going to reposition ourselves real quick. We're going to hold position with our infantry here, wait for the enemy units to come close a little bit. We're going to use regrowth, or attempt to. Once again, I'm going to cast Earthblood just to heal our forces a little bit. And as you can see, 2 nearby allies are lightly wounded. And otherwise, I guess I might as well cast Peace as well, just to rally ourselves. Alright, so we're going to tell our infantry to charge once again, have our archers stand just a little bit behind them. I think that's way too close in my opinion, but I don't really see a problem with allowing it, considering they're not really going to take too much damage from there, I don't think. Not unless one of these pistol users gets a little bit lucky with accuracy. And otherwise, we're getting a huge amount of kills. Percy's really happy about that, as you can see by his jump. Yes, he was very happy about that. Very proud of himself. Okay, so... oh, yes, look at that. Bracing Skaven Halberd for charge. Ah, okay, so that's actually a thing. If you press B, then you can brace it, like that. Oh, that is actually really cool. That is actually really, really cool. Wow, okay. So, yeah, there you go. That's actually really cool. Oh, look at that. Do you hear that? Do you hear that in the music? There's actually like a ringtone or something in the music. That's not actually my phone, by the way. That's not actually my phone. I think I actually saw a comment that said that that was my phone or something. No, I don't have a landline phone or anything like that. So, yeah, it's not really. That's not mine. Certainly not mine. Anyway, yeah. Let's see if I can just eliminate the last. I would like to. Can I use regrowth? Nope. Apparently it failed once again. Well, that's kind of sad, but oh well, never mind. There's only one enemy remaining. This is the fellow. I'm surprised he's lasting so long, but he is a duelist, so I suppose that makes sense. Alright, victory. And 19 renown for us. Really, really nice. 133 enemies killed. Very surprising indeed. And we now have 102 battle size. Let's get a Knight of the Blazing Sun, a Reiksguard Knight, Empire Sharpshooter, Great Sword. Wow, some very good units there. And we also have a Flintlock Pirate Pistol, might be using that in a siege. I think it might be a little bit better. Yeah, it's a little bit better than the regular Flintlock Pistol, so I suppose I can just sell that if I need to. Otherwise, everyone's leveled up. Well, not everyone, but quite a few people have leveled up. Look at that, 10,000 experience shared with the party. Look at that. So many companions leveled up, so many units leveled up, and I suppose that will mark the end of this episode. And so what we're going to do is... before the next episode begins, I'm going to wait at this town right here. I'm going to be basically giving the Tavern Master a whole bunch of my money just to try and rectify the relation there. And then we will be buying another enterprise and hopefully going somewhere else and doing some other cool things. I would like to maybe become a vassal now that we've gotten a good amount of renown. Anyway, that will be it. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.